a rolling cowboy, riding all day long. Tumbleweeds around me sing their lonesome song. Nights underneath the prairie moon, I ride along and sing this tune. See them tumbling down, pledging their love to the ground. Lonely but free to be found, drifting along with the tumbleweeds. Cares of the past are behind, nowhere to go but I'll find just where the trail will wind, drifting along with the tumbleweed. I know when night is gone that a new world is born at dawn. I'll keep rolling along, deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong, drifting along with the tumbleweed. I know when night is gone that a new world is born at dawn. I'll keep rolling along, deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong, drifting along with the tumbleweed. Drifting along with the tumbleweeds, drifting along with the tumbleweed.
There's a little graveyard on the rolling foothill plains, bleached by sun and summer, swept by winter's snows and rains. A little bunch of settlers had gathered on an autumn day round a homemade lumber coffin with their last respects to pay. Hungry men, they'd build their living off that hard, weird land, and beside them stood their women, faded wives with toil-worn hands. But among us stood one figure that was wiry, straight and trim. Everyone amongst us knew him. 'Twas the bronco twister, Jim. Just a bunch of hardened muscle, tempered with a savage grit. And he had the reputation of a man that never quit. He'd helped to build the coffin and he'd helped to dig the grave, but his instinct seemed to teach him how we really should behave. Now we didn't have no preacher and the crowd was mighty slim. Just two women with weak voices sang an old-time funeral hymn. It's all we had for service. The old wife was sobbing there, for her husband of a lifetime laid away without a prayer. She looked at the bronco twister and she walked right up to him, put one trembling arm around him, and said, "Pray, please, won't you, Jim?" You could see his figure straighten and a look of quick surprise flash across his swarthy features and his hard, daredevil eyes. He could handle any bronco and he'd never dodge a fight. 'Twas the first time anybody ever saw his face turn white. But he took his big sombrero off his rough and shaggy head, How I wish I could remember what that bronco twister said. No, he wasn't educated. On the range his youth was spent. But the maker of creation knew exactly what he meant. As he looked over towards the mountains where the drifting shadows played, silence must have reigned in heaven when they heard the way Jim prayed. It's been many years since we gathered in that lonely graveyard lot, but it gave us all a memory and a lot of food for thought. As we stood beside the coffin in that freshly broken sod, that reckless bronco breaker, talking heart to heart with God. When the prayer at last was over and the grave had all been filled, on his rough, half-broken pony he rode off towards the hills. We stood there in amazement as we watched him ride away, for no words could ever thank him. There was nothing we could say. Since we gathered in that graveyard, it's been nearly 50 years. With their joys and with their sorrows, with their hopes and with their fears. But I hope when I've finished and they've laid me with the dead, someone says a prayer above me, like that bronco twister said.
And we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We know last days to sing God's grace, and when we first begun.
Favorite part.
Going down to Florida, gonna get some sand in my shoes. On baby California, I get some sand in my shoes. I'll write that orange blossom special. I lose these New York blues. Talk about a rambler, she's the fastest train on this line. They talk about a traveler, she's the fastest train on this line. Here's that orange blossom special, coming down that Seagull
The odds are coming down the railroad track. Hey, look, the odds are coming down the railroad track. Here's an orange blossom special,
While we do is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. Sing it with me. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around him be falling, but he bids me go through the voice of hope. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joys we share as we tarry there, none other has ever The moon is shining bright tonight. Let's you and me take a moonlight ride. The sky is a Milky Way, and the night might get away unless we saddle our ponies and we hit the trail where the shadows follow in the coyote's way. Let's go.